Hey, me again, Randy. First off, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and thank you so much for almost 1,800 views on one of my shorts and then another 500 and something on the other short. So, since y'all were so entertained by my pain as being an evangelist in the street, I'm gonna share some more stories with you guys as when I was a youth leader. And man, dealing with kids, it was kind of tough for me because like I said, I was still in my 20s. I was still kind of a little bit selfish and only thought about myself back then. But God got me out of my comfort zone in dealing with these children. Oh, excuse me. And I had a piece of chicken. But anyway, dealing with these children, and man, we had some good times. But one instance that I'll never forget, took these two little boys home, and I forgot their name. I think one of them was Malik or whatever. And like I said, all these people are grown now. They're in their 30s now. That's how long ago this was. But anyway, I don't want to derail. But yeah, so I'm dropping them off at home, and man, why this little boy trick me out of my Jeep? So I'm trying to drop him off, trying to get him out of the car. He had the nerve to shut the door and lock me out of my own car. Man, bruh, when I tell y'all that I was hot as fire, I was hotter than that dude was when he saw me talking to his girlfriend and thought I was trying to hit on her. This the first time that I really wanted to take my belt off on somebody else's child. But I couldn't do it because I would have gone to jail. And I felt bad, not because he locked me out of my car, but I felt bad because his mom and daddy weren't even home. So I had to drop these kids off and leave them with the neighbor. And the neighbor was in the street doing whatever she do. And I'm like, man, this is a mess. I said, no wonder these boys act like they do. It ain't no authority at the house at all. But I really did want to take my belt off because that's what he needed at the time. But I also understood that one of the reasons why he acted like that is because there was no authority in the household. And when I was a youth leader, I dealt with a lot of kids like that. They just had no respect for authority because there was none in the houses that they grew up in. And so when their parents basically pawn their children off on us on Friday night, because that's what we had our youth service on Friday night, and we had a regular service on Sunday. So they would just pawn their kids off of us Friday night, and they go do whatever they want to do. A party time for them. We were babysitters. And I'll never forget, it was two other boys. I forgot their names. I remember their faces, and they had a real sad situation. Their mama had this boyfriend. Mama kept a boyfriend. Always kept a boyfriend. Never married any guy. She never married their father. I think they did have the same daddy, but she never married their father, and she just kept having boyfriend after boyfriend. So I'll never forget, after service one night, I took them home. And these are not the same little boys. These ain't the same boys that locked me out of my Jeep that I wanted to take my belt off on. These guys were a little older. They were teenagers. Probably like, I think by this, they might have been in middle school, maybe 8th grade at the time. But it was such a sad situation because I ended up sitting in my car with them because I didn't want to leave them outside by themselves. And I stayed out there with them until like 2 a.m. And because their mama was out with her boyfriend drinking and locked them out of the house. They had no way of getting in the house. And I'm like, man, I said, she gonna come home anytime soon? And they were like, they called me Brother Randy. They like, Brother Randy, man, don't worry about it, because she does this all the time. Like, seriously? They were like, yeah, we used to it. We'll be all right. We understand it's getting late and you got to go home. So I ended up leaving them on their front porch, man, and it was the saddest thing. And then, you know, there was nothing I could do about it, because at that time, I was living with my mom and dad. So I didn't have a place for them to really go. I couldn't take them home with me because I ain't even have a home. I mean, I put it this way. I had a home to go to, but it wasn't my home. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying with somebody, so I couldn't take them. But it was sad. And these are some of the things that I experienced being a youth leader, man. It wasn't always peaches and cream, you know, and some of you youth leaders might have been already gone through the same thing. All I can say is stay encouraged and don't give up. These kids actually really need you, believe it or not. There might be some days where you might feel like what you're doing doesn't serve a purpose. You may feel like, man, these kids don't really care about what I got, what I'm trying to instill in them. All they care about is this and that. And they might give you a fit. But they hearing you. Especially the ones who keep coming back Sunday after Sunday, or Friday after Friday, or Saturday after Saturday, or whatever. They hearing you. It may not feel like they are, but they paying attention. That's why they keep coming back. But just know that your job as a youth leader, you're serving a purpose, and it's a needed purpose. And don't quit and give up. But I share these stories because I just don't want y'all to fall into some of the pitfalls that I fell into. Like, don't make this mistake either. Don't take the kids to the movies and it's just you and one other chaperone. And while you in the middle of the movie, they get up and they go walk around the mall. They tell you they got to use the bathroom instead of checking to see if they go to the bathroom, and just, trusted them that they would go to the bathroom and come back. No. Another thing too, if you take them somewhere where they got to order food, make sure that they got enough money to for what they paying for what they ordered. Because I had to dig in my own pocket a couple of times because these kids would order stuff and didn't have the money to pay for it. And I'm like, man, we about to all be in here washing dishes. So I don't make that mistake either. Order the food for them. So that's what we started doing. We started having movies and things at the church where there was more than two adults able to watch and make sure. And we just ordered pizza for them. So, it wouldn't be that situation where some of the kids ain't had the money to pay for their stuff. And also, if you do take these children on a field trip, see how they behave while they in church. So if they're a knucklehead in church, that's a child you're just gonna have to leave home. I wouldn't even tell them about the field trip, to be honest. Such and such got a hard time behaving. Like, you know what? Friday, we just gonna tell him to stay home, or whenever the field trip is. But so avoid those mistakes. Another thing too, and try to make a clear boundary between being a mentor and friend. Because I made the mistake of that line being blurred, and sometimes the kids would get it mixed up. And I'm there to be a mentor. And sometimes I might have been a little too friendly, and they could get disrespectful because they're looking at me as like I'm one of their peers, and I'm not. I'm actually a mentor. So don't make that mistake either. You gotta set some clear boundaries. I am a mentor. I'm not really here to be your friend per se. And you gotta help them be respectful, because a lot of them don't have any respect for authority anyway. I don't know if things have changed in the last 20 years, because when I was doing this, it was 20 years ago. So things may have changed a little bit, but from what I see on social media, in some cases, it may be a little worse, because these kids ain't respecting their teachers. You as a youth leader may not have a chance, because they don't have to come to church. They have to go to school, but they don't have to come to church. So they like, you know, you can't tell me what to do. I ain't even got to be here. So I'm just, you know, share these situations with you and hope that you don't make some of the same mistakes that I did. Hopefully that my experiences that I went through, that you don't have to deal with any of them, because I dealt with some kids that were in gangs. I dealt with some kids that just had a messed up home life. And I mean, there was one time I dropped a child off at home, man, and his dad was cussing him out like he was some dude in the street. And I wanted to tell him to just get back in the car and come with me, but I couldn't do that because that's illegal. I can't override the authority of the parent. It ain't like he was beating the kid up. He might have been beating him up with his words, but I can't do anything other than let him go with his dad because that's his dad. I didn't want him to, because the way he was talking to him, I'm looking at him like, man, you ain't got to talk to your son like that. But other than that, ain't nothing else I can do about it. And it kind of hurt, and I kind of got burned out because it started to get like a little sad knowing the situations that some of them were going through. And I kind of lost my desire to serve. And so when I got married, and not saying that this is right, I kind of used getting married as an excuse to kind of fade away and relinquished it to somebody else. But hang in there, because it can be tough. But I just want you to know that you are necessary as a youth leader, and you really are having an impact on these children, whether you think so or not. And don't quit, don't give up. So y'all have a blessed day. All right, bye.